Alright everybody, I'm back with a new Your Toy Box unboxing. It's been a little bit of time since I've done one of these, and as such these have actually kind of piled up on me, so I'm gonna try to kind of rapid fire. I've got 3 of them to open, and I'm gonna open them as fast as we can and see if we can get through all this in a reasonable amount of time. So if I kind of gloss over some things and don't go into a whole lot of detail, I apologize if that's frustrating for you. But this one is the July box, so we're going to pull the bubble wrap out here and go ahead and get started. Alright, and the first item is a Yoda toy. I believe this was from the KFC line for either, or like the KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut line, I believe for episode 1. Could be wrong though. It's like a little magic 8-ball. Shake it and it's got, like, you know, little dice in there. Looks like some of the water's kind of evaporated away, but you know, it's a little thing there. Let's see what we have next here. I have no idea actually. Anakin PVC toy. So I guess this is an episode 1 little kid Anakin. It's interesting. Doesn't particularly look like Anakin, but yeah, that's what it says on the little tag. So I don't know. I may have to look into that. That's kind of a weird looking Anakin figure. He was kind of more blonde in the movie with some more sandy robe colors, but then again, toy lines do often get kind of weird. Alright, and the next item is a Bespin Luke Skywalker. Wondering, I guess his arms move up and down. A lot of these had, like, this looks like it may have had a base at some point that plugged into it to trigger an action feature. As flimsy as the arms are, I'm guessing the action feature is broken, but that's still kind of cool. Not a terrible likeness to Mark Hamill. From the side it's not that great, but from the front it's pretty decent. I've definitely seen worse Mark Hamill likenesses. The old Kenner figures kind of spring immediately to mind. Alright, this is actually a fairly new figure here. This is a Dino Charge Blue Ranger. Looks like one of the kind of Mashers type figures, maybe, since the joints kind of come apart. They would come with different parts and accessories that you can swap out, and armor pieces that you could clip onto them, and that sort of thing. The knee joints here even seem like they're on a ball joint as well. Yeah, there you go. So all the different pieces would come off and you can swap them out and do different things with them. Well, that's kind of neat. Has little ports on the back too. But yeah, I believe this is from Dino Charge, is I believe what it's called, or Kyoryuger in Japan. If I mispronounced that horribly, I apologize. I'm not super familiar with the show, so if I butchered that name, I apologize. Alright, next is a Kenner Boba Fett figure. I used to have quite a few Boba Fett figures and various Kenner figures back in the day. I used to collect a lot of Star Wars figures. So that's kind of cool. He's missing his jetpack and his blaster, but I believe he also had a little like neck scarf thing that attached as well. It's still really cool. The paint on it's in pretty good shape. A lot of these old figures you tend to find the paint's really beat up, but this one's in really good shape. The little emblem that's printed on his chest is perfectly intact as well. The one on his shoulder is as well. That's in really good shape, other than the missing pieces. And they may be in the box too. I doubt it, but there's a possibility. Samurai Blue Ranger. This is from Power Rangers Samurai. It's got some paint wear on it. This is the Super Samurai version, I believe. It's kind of cool. I don't have much from Samurai. I've got one figure that I customized a while back, and that's it. But I did like the design of the suits. I just never really got into collect. That was at the point where I kind of got out of collecting the figures. Let's see. Then we have a little, looks like a Luke Skywalker PVC figure from the Galactic Heroes line. Yeah, Luke figure. I guess it would have to be with the lightsaber. That's pretty cool. I kind of like the style. I've always been a fan of like little chibi styles, and these were always pretty cool to see. I never collected much of them, but I do have a couple of them now from the various Your Toy boxes. Who knows, might have even more when this unboxing is done. And a really big R2-D2 figure that is spring-loaded. So I'm guessing some form of bobblehead. So, let's see. It's made by Funko. It doesn't say anything else other than, you know, like the basic copyright information, so I'm not 100% sure, but given the fact that Funko makes bobbleheads and it's on a little spring allowing it to kind of bobble, that's what I'm going to go with. That's actually kind of cool. I've never really been a huge fan of bobbleheads, but you know, every now and again there's one that kind of catches my eye. And that is it for the July Your Toy box. So let me go ahead and grab the August Your Toy box right here. And oh, there's some stuff on. Oh, there's no bubble wrap in here, so we're just gonna start with the biggest thing here. I think I can safely say. Oh, that is cool. It's a little Kylo Ren plush. It's just kind of a basic black body with some, you know, like waist skirt and scarf, headscarf details, and the, you know, pretty well detailed mask. That is really cool. I've really enjoyed episode 7, and I kind of am really intrigued to see what they do with Kylo Ren. I'm actually surprised to see something that recent in this, but then again, the Dino Charge series is still going as far as I know, so that's pretty recent too. But that is really cool. I'm going to kind of set him back here so we can kind of look over everything here. Alright, and oh nice. This was a movie version of the Power Rangers figures from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They did them in a metallic body. It's a vacuumized metal plastic, and slightly slimmer bodies than the old Automorph figures, if my memory serves correctly. But the arms and legs and head are exactly the same as I recall from the Automorphs. But the bodies were slightly slimmer because it didn't have the mechanism for the Automorph feature. This one's got a little bit of wear on the vacuumized plastic, but that's pretty cool. It's missing the shield as well as Saba, but the shields were always the first things to get lost. They didn't stay on very well. They just had little itty-bitty pegs that didn't hold for crap. Most of the time I ended up using tape to hold mine on. Alright, we have a Luke Skywalker figure. This is, this isn't Kenner. I think this is the Hasbro 3 3/4 inch line. It seems shorter than, you know, a lot of their figures. It's definitely shorter than the 6-inch Black Series figures. And another Power Rangers movie figure. This was from McDonald's. They included them with a little versions of their Zords that they could sit in. These were actually the only way for a long time that you could get movie versions as action figures, like proper movie versions with the armor and all that. I have a review on my channel for the newer ones that Bandai did for the Legacy line. If you're at all interested in these, you can go check that out. They're better figures than these, but that's probably about where I would stop on that. I'm not a big fan of the movie versions. I'm actually really interested to check out the new I think it's 6.5 inch MMPR figures that they're putting out. I know the Red and Green Rangers are out right now, and they come with the Red Ranger comes with pieces to build a piece to build a Megazord that comes with all the other ones. Oh, it's another Anakin PVC figure. There's a little stand figure. This one's a little bit more accurate to the movie. Like I said, I'm not even 100% convinced that this one's supposed to be Anakin. As you can kind of see side by side, they don't really look anything alike other than maybe the hairstyle. But then again, like I said, action figure lines get kind of weird from time to time. But that's kind of cool. Lots of prequel stuff I'm noticing. I believe there's 2 more items in here. This one is... these are the... well, one of them is an Action Fleet Darth Vader. These came with... Micro Machines did these little miniature versions of the ships that had opening cockpits with seats and whatnot. And they were really cool. I collected them for a while. They, I believe they were kind of a spin-off of their Star Trek line where they had like the Enterprise and like the, you know, comm badge and whatnot that would open up and have little play sets in them. Very similar bodies anyway, with the pretty much static pose, but you could bend the legs down to fit them in things, and they had little molded bases for their feet. I don't know if he came with a cape or not. I doubt it, considering that you'd need to sit down, so that would be hard to do. I think the Han Solo here, which is the other figure, I believe that came with a set of the just little, you know, Micro Machine ships. Or it may have come with a playset, I'm not sure. I know they did a Death Star playset that came with some of the figures, if I recall correctly, so that may be where that came from. And then the last item in here... Oh, nice! It's a Black Ranger PVC figure from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I actually have a Pink Ranger figure somewhere around here that is still in the packaging. That's the same type of toy. That's from the same line. I used to collect these all the time when I was a kid. I think they were like $3 a figure, and you can get them at, like, you know, just about any store. I remember to get the Blue Ranger, I actually had to go all the way to a Target that was like, you know, 30-40 miles away to get it. I distinctly remember that. And that's it for that box. And now we'll get September's. I could be wrong, but I think there's another plush inside of here. So we'll open this up and see what we got. This one has the bubble wrap, and I'll go ahead and pull this one out since we kind of see it. It's a Red Zeo Ranger. For anybody not familiar with Zeo, this was Tommy, the Green Ranger from the Green and White Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I don't know why he has got a little triangle on his back. I'm assuming that may be part of an action feature. I might have to see if I can figure that out. It looks like a very similar body style to the Mighty Morphin White. The legs are very similar anyway. Kind of just chunky with a basic joint. A little bit more articulated. The visor looks like the paint's been scraped off, but that's pretty easy to fix. The visors were always black on these. At least as far as I know, they were always black. They may not. Okay, so apparently you turn his body and his arm goes back, so you probably have it up and it would be like a chopping motion. So that'd be your action feature there. But yeah, I might have to repaint that. I don't have much in the way of Zeo figures. I have a Gold Ranger from back in the Super Legends that they did a couple of years back. Now we've got a Yoshi plush. This is kind of a little beanbag figure. He's got like a beanbag inside of him. I have a love for plushies, but I don't have a whole lot in the way of Mario and whatnot. Used to have one when I was a kid, a giant Luigi plush that I got at a carnival, but that's not really relevant. But all right, next one. Oh, it looks like from the same line as a Toad. He's also got a beanie bag in him. This is the blue Toad. There's I don't know if there was in this line, but there's usually a red variant of the Toad where he's got the red dots instead of blue. That was not a whole lot of people are fans of Toad, but I don't hate them. Alright, I think that's it for the plushies. Alright, now we have the Yellow Thunder Bike, if I recall correctly is what it's called. These were from season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And they usually came with a figure that would ride it and whatnot. They've got a little kickstand down here so they actually stand up. A lot of times this horn here is broken off. Glad to see that's actually intact. Actually, it looks in pretty good shape. A little bit of sticker wear, but not too bad. The vacuumized metal plastic's in really good shape, other than a few little spots here and there. The tail is where it seems like most of the wear is at. That's really cool. I don't know if the figure's in here, but that's still really cool little toy. I had a few of them back in the day. I know I had the black one. I don't remember if I had any of the other ones. The figures that the bikes came with tended to be more in proportion than the Automorphin figures, and so they were actually pretty sought after. But these were kind of expensive. I want to say $15 a set, but if you could find them, they were a nice little set to get, to have a decent figure as well as a little vehicle to play with. Well, we got a Yoda figure here, probably from the prequels, judging by the hair. I'm actually not sure that's Yoda. No, that's not Yoda. It's this. I think that's the one that was on the council that had the same. It was the same species as him, but I don't think that's Yoda. Face doesn't look right, and the hair is definitely not. Unless it's like a really early Yoda, like prequel Yoda. Maybe from one of the books or something. Nope, another Anakin figure. This one's an actual posable figure. This one probably Hasbro's 3 3/4 inch figures, if I had to hazard a guess at it. It'd go well with that Luke from earlier. Let's see. Oh, got a Clone Trooper. Looks like from the same line, 3 3/4 inch. This may be given the body proportions from Clone Wars, if I had to guess. Most of the movie ones are a little bit bulkier. The Clone Wars kind of exaggerated some of the features, made them thinner and leaner. That's pretty cool. Kind of getting a little Star Wars figure collection going at this rate. And I believe this is going to be it for this box. It's a little Jedi Starfighter. I believe these were the ones that Anakin and Obi-Wan were piloting in Episode 3 when they go in and attack the Trade Federation ships that are holding Chancellor Palpatine hostage. just a Star Wars ship. But I'm not sure what the designation was on these, but they had the S foils, so they were definitely kind of they were definitely intended to be kind of a throwback to the X-Wings, possibly a precursor. Single engine design as opposed to dual engines, dual engine design as opposed to the quad engines that the X-Wing sported. That's pretty cool. Probably, yeah, Micro Machine, judging by the hole in the bottom there. Well, that's been pretty cool boxes. I think the highlight for me has to be the Kylo Ren. Although the old school Power Rangers standee is pretty cool too, and the R2-D2 bobblehead. So the 3 boxes, I'd say those are probably the highlights for me. But all these are, all the figures and whatnot have actually been pretty cool to see. A lot of these are throwbacks to stuff that I used to collect when I was a kid, like the Boba Fett figure and the old Power Rangers figures. But I guess I'll cut this here. It's already over 20 minutes, so I don't want this to go on too long. But I guess I'll try to update a little bit more frequently. The Your Toy boxes, they just sort of piled up on me. I got a little sidetracked doing some stuff for the Ghostbusters release, and everything just sort of piled up behind it. But I guess I will end this here, and I will see everybody next time. All right, bye.